Devin Kogan, and we are here in EW's Comic-Con Studio 2019, presented by Toyota Corolla. And I am so excited to be here with André Øvredal and Guillermo del Toro of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Guys, how's it going?
Very good. We just arrived today, but we have a master class this afternoon.
Yeah.
We're going to reveal a new monster for the film. So
Ooh.
It'll be fun.
That's exciting. So yeah, I mean, I'm so excited to talk to you about Scary Stories because, you know, this is a book that has been kind of terrifying children and adults alike for decades now at this point. I mean, why was now the right time for you guys to make this movie?
Well, we started developing it a few years ago, about 5 years ago, and it was the right time because we felt that there was a lot of things thematically about the movie we were thinking about truth and storytelling that were very relevant to right now. Like how if you repeat stories the right or the wrong way, they can become true the more you repeat them, which can be relevant to social media or to a kid in the 1960s. And we thought that by now there are three generations of people that have read the books. So they know how they are fun, scary, but they are PG-13, young adult type of scary, and we thought this was the perfect time to introduce an audience to them.
Absolutely. So you mentioned the setting of 1968. Why was that? What was it about that setting that really interested you and made you say, this is where we want to set our story?
Well, we started because it was the time that it was relevant. A lot of people don't remember this is a transitional moment in America that politically has a lot to do with now in many ways, but also is a time where kids were disappearing from a war that they had been told about, but they didn't really understand. So it was very relevant to the theme and the atmosphere of the movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm curious, you know, obviously, tell me a little bit about developing the look and feel of the movie, you know, because, you know, the illustrations by Stephen Gamble are so iconic and are so, like, beautiful. How did you, Andre, how did you want to kind of transform that, like, visual language into film?
I mean, we actually did develop the characters into almost whitish creatures so that they would stand out in dark, scary environments, but also, you know, the film has a brightness to it that I wanted to in 1968, and with this kind of it's not a dark, sinister horror movie. It's a really fun, scary movie, and I wanted to get that across in the style and the tone as well. So there is a balance between those two elements.
But the creatures, as you say, they are Gamel's line work is very almost like smoke.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult to find. I've been making monsters for more than 30 years. So I knew exactly what guys needed to sculpt the creatures. I didn't want CG creatures. I wanted real makeup effects combined with digital enhancements. So we knew exactly who was going to sculpt each of the creatures. And we had the photo. We said, let's not do design. Let's just do exactly the drawing as the guideline.
And they, like you said, they have this wonderful smoke-like kind of ethereal quality to it. I would imagine that would be so much fun to play with.
We for example, there's a character, the pale woman from a story called The Dream. Incredibly difficult because she's almost benign, smiling, but that's what makes her so creepy. And you need a really good approach to the sculpture of that.
I was going to ask you, I know you both have said that she is probably your favorite monster.
It is for me, yes.
So why is she your favorite? What is it about her that makes you, why is she your favorite?
I mean, it is that balance between being benign and because of that quality, it's also really scary. You don't know where you have her in a way. So she's really, I don't know, I just fell in love with the drawing, and I was so happy when we were able to sculpt this character and make her really come alive.
There's something very absent and remote about her eyes, and then she has that little whimsical smile, and she is like almost without a form. You know, she looks like barely has a chin, barely has, sort of like me in the beach. You know, there's barely a chin distinguishable. But it's great is that she has this motherly but sort of evil. It's a paradoxical creature. It's really scary and at the same time very benign.
So did you go through like any different iterations of these stories? Did you do like how did the story evolve as you guys were developing it?
Well, when I started on Pan's Labyrinth, I created a book that was called the Book of Crossroads, which is a book that you open and it writes itself. And I thought we can take that idea and put it on this and find a book that reads you and writes itself to tell you the story you need to, that you're scared the most. And we did a sort of an American Idol, and we had all the writers and the producers. We said 4 favorite stories. And everybody, it's 3 books. There's a lot of stories. And we went down to 10 stories, and then 5, and then 4. And those are the stories that are basically threaded in the movie.
So, and I love what you guys have done in sort of, you know, taking these stories and connecting them with this one overarching story. You know, tell me a little bit about, because you said you didn't want to make like an anthology movie.
No,
you wanted to make a, why was it that you wanted to have this overarching, you know, arc?
Anthology films are very uneven, you know, and you're never satisfied by an overarching narrative. The short stories can be really bad or really good, and the movie is as bad as the worst of those stories. Whereas if you give it a whole arc, it's really beautiful to follow characters from beginning to end that you care about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, we're here at Comic-Con. You guys have your panel later today. What are you most excited about this weekend?
I mean, to present our new monster. It's going to be very exciting to show the world our own creation that belongs to the Gamma world, but it's really our own thing.
But what are you going to buy?
Yeah, no, I was down there for like an hour before, and it was like amazing. I've never been to Comic-Con before.
Oh, okay.
So it was like totally overwhelming, and I was like, God, I got to spend 2-3 days there.
I know, just to get through all of the booths and all of the walk the floors is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you?
My buying days are over. I mean, I started with, when I was a kid, I had my shelf. Then when I married, I got a room.
Now you have
2
a house.
rooms. No, I started with 1 house full of my stuff, went to 2 houses, and right now it's 2 houses and 2 apartments full of my stuff. And something told me it's time for you to
Well, you're going to have to make room for the Scary Stories monsters.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They'll have to have a special place of honor. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by. This has been so much fun. So that's it for us. And stay tuned to EW.com for more Comic-Con coverage throughout the weekend.